Beans are easy to store, lightweight, and packed with nutrition. They are also a proven staple food. The Greeks, Egyptians, Mexican and Peruvian civilizations depended on dried beans as a significant part of their diet. Dried beans are one of the best foods you can store for long-term emergencies or survival food. Beans are a filling comfort food packed with protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals. Averaging 22% protein, they provide the highest protein of any seed crop. They come in various shapes, sizes, and flavors to alleviate palate fatigue. Beans are cheap, shelf-stable, and provide a 30-year shelf life. Beans are superfoods and they are inexpensive compared to emergency foods professionally packaged for long-term food storage. If you are looking to build a long-term food pantry, I will start with dried beans, white rice, and wheat because they are of excellent value, and it's easy to store hundreds of pounds of food for emergencies quickly. Dry beans for storage should be repackaged to attain decades of shelf life. If you store them in plastic bags from the grocery store, the maximum shelf life is 12 months. Beans store best when protected from oxygen and light. Oxygen causes bean oil to go rancid, and light degrades the color and quality of the beans. Store dry beans in a cool, dry location. Keeping storage temperatures between 50 degrees to 70 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal, but around 75 degrees Fahrenheit will work. The ideal storage temperature for beans is just above freezing, but that isn't realistic for the average prepper. The best bean containers for long-term, oxygen-free storage and maximum bean shelf life are lined number 10 cans, usually purchased, and Mylar bags, an excellent do-it-yourself method. You can use other containers to store beans like plastic pails, Ziploc bags, and clear vacuum seal bags, but these will not maximize shelf life. You can use these containers to store sugar and salt because they should not be stored oxygen-free. For the other staples, white rice, wheat, dried beans, and other hard and soft grains, avoid these containers for long-term storage. Packaging needs to be proper oxygen, light, and moisture barrier. Clear containers don't keep out light, and plastic is not an actual oxygen barrier. One aspect of repackaging dry staples is to kill bugs, eggs, and pupae. To kill bugs, oxygen levels need to be below 1% for a minimum of 2 weeks. It doesn't matter how many oxygen absorbers you use if new oxygen isn't kept out of the container. When you get ready to repackage your beans, things will go smoother if you stage all of your equipment and tools before you start. Following is a list of tools I use to repackage dried beans and my other dried goods. Hopefully this will help you get set up for a painless session of dried bean storage. 18x28 Mylar bags, this is the size I use, or 20x30. 5-gallon food-grade bucket with a cheap lid. When using Mylar, you don't need a fancy lid with a seal. 1-gallon Mylar bags for overflow. Standard clothes iron to heat seal the Mylar bag. Permanent marker to mark the package with the packing date and food type. 2,500 cubic centimeters oxygen absorbers for 5-gallon bucket line with an 18x28 Mylar bag. 500 cubic centimeters oxygen absorbers for 1-gallon overflow bags for extra beans that won't fit into your bucket. Wood board used to place the top of the bag over when you seal it with the iron. Scissors to cut open the bean bag. Scissors make a clean cut, so it's easier to pour the rice out of the bag. Canned beans include water inside the can, so you don't need to consider your emergency water supply when prepping. 1 cup of dry beans requires 3 cups of clean water. Immediately usable, open the can and eat. You don't need fuel. You can eat canned beans cold. Stay hidden, you don't have to start a fire to eat beans. If water is scarce or starting a fire is an issue, canned beans work well at bug-out locations or in a bug-out vehicle. Canned beans are too heavy to carry bugging out on foot. Warming canned beans take minutes. Prepping dry beans could take hours if you are filtering water, preparing beans, and gathering firewood. Cans are tough and self-contained. All you need to do to eat canned beans is open the can. Ideally, you get to heat the beans, but it's not necessary. On the other hand, dried beans are not ideal for situations where you have a water shortage, the power is out, and you have limited time. Dried beans take a lot of water, fuel, and time to make ready to eat, not ideal when you are cleaning up hurricane damage without power. Beans in general are not ideal for bugging out on foot. Cans are heavy and dried beans take too many resources.
Thank you for watching.